Good morning, I'm Rashan Gidwani, and you're watching the Daily Morning Note. It's Thursday, the 2nd of February, 2023. Singapore shares closed higher on Wednesday, tracking overnight gains on Wall Street as investors anticipated that the Federal Reserve would ease its rate hike path. The Straits Times Index rose 0.4% or 11.98 points to close at 3,377.65. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq rallied on Wednesday after the Federal Reserve enacted a smaller interest rate hike, pointing to progress in its fight against inflation. All three major indices finished higher, led by the tech-rich Nasdaq Composite Index, which jumped 2.0% to 11,816.32. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose less than 0.1% to 34,092.96, while the broad-based S&P 500 advanced 1.1% to 4,119.21. Member of Parliament Tin Pei Ling has joined ride-hailing and technology giant Grab as its Singapore Director of Public Affairs and Policy. Tin, who is the MP for McPherson, joined the Nasdaq-listed company in January, Grab confirmed on Wednesday. Her appointment was made public after the 39-year-old made an appearance that day at a Chinese New Year lunch that was hosted by Grab for about 750 private hire drivers at a restaurant at Singapore Expo. Ride-hailing operator Grab has been finding ways to recruit more drivers and improve productivity in Singapore as it attempts to ramp up a supply that is only at 70 to 80% of pre-pandemic days. A wave of drivers across Southeast Asia left the ride-hailing industry from 2020 onwards after COVID-19 restrictions caused a sharp drop in ridership and earnings. While ridership in Singapore across all platforms has returned to 80% of pre-pandemic levels, higher than 74% in 2021, the supply of drivers has not been able to meet demand. Singapore and the European Union have signed a digital partnership that will strengthen connectivity and interoperability between both digital markets, enabling people and businesses to transact digitally more seamlessly and at lower costs. The EU-Singapore Digital Partnership, or EU-SDP, was signed by Singapore's Minister in charge of Trade Relations, S. Iswaran, and European Commissioner for Internal Market, Thierry Breton, in Brussels on Wednesday. Oxley Holdings reported on Wednesday a sharp decline in net profit for its first half on the back of lower revenue and higher finance costs. Net profit for the 6-month period ended December 31st, 2022, fell to 277,000 Singapore dollars from 23.5 million Singapore dollars in the corresponding period a year ago. Fraser's Logistics and Commercial Trust recorded over 239,500 square meters of leasing across its portfolio for its first quarter ended December 31st, 2022, the real estate investment trust's manager said in a Wednesday business update. The REIT maintained a 100% occupancy for its logistics and industrial portfolio, while its commercial portfolio recorded an 89.8% occupancy rate. The Federal Reserve raised its target interest rate by 1/4 percentage point on Wednesday, yet continued to promise ongoing increases in borrowing costs as part of its still unresolved battle against inflation. Inflation has eased somewhat, but remains elevated, the U.S. Central Bank said in a statement that marked an explicit acknowledgement of the progress made in lowering the pace of price increases from the 40-year highs hit last year. Meta Platforms reported better than expected sales during the holiday quarter, fueled by strong demand for advertising as it attracted more users to its Facebook social network. Revenue for the fourth quarter was $32.2 billion US dollars. That compared with Wall Street estimates of $31.6 billion US dollars. Shares jumped more than 18% in extended trading. Morgan Stanley's private equity arm that focuses on middle market companies said on Wednesday it had acquired environmental services and consulting firm Apex Companies. Morgan Stanley Capital Partners said the current owner of Apex, Sentinel Capital Partners, will retain a minority stake in the company after the deal closes. Rockville, Maryland-based Apex offers water infrastructure and environmental, social, and governance consulting and other services. That's all for today. For financial news, tune in weekdays at 8:30 a.m. live on YouTube and Facebook. Please like and subscribe.